When Maya goes out through the ego, yeah, using this instrument, she identifies herself with the physical body. That means she's afraid. And what happens? Now she's desiring pleasure, right? So she's seeking pleasure and she's avoiding pain. Now she's willing to do a lot of things, almost everything, for pleasure. Why? Because who I am is absolute happiness, supreme peace, indescribable bliss. What happens? She mistakes the pleasure for the supreme bliss. So she's looking for this in the external gross universe through the objects of the world. Yet what happens? She is moving from pleasure to pain, pleasure to pain. So she is consumed by desire and fear. This is why Nisargadatta said. And why to be liberated? Because if not, Maya will be consumed endlessly by desire and fear. So now you can see, he say, by seeking pleasure, avoiding pain. Seeking pleasure, avoiding pain. Now, what happens, because they follow each other, you cannot have one without the other.
And cancel each other.
Yeah. So now when there is pleasure, it cancels the pain. Yet, no matter how pleasurable it is, because it's not permanent, once it starts to fade off, the absence of pleasure is the beginning of pain. So now once it goes down, let's say, and there's pain, it cancels the pleasure. So now the pain is not permanent. It's gonna, once it fades away, that's a sense of pleasure. So a pain is a trapped energy. So trapped energy that was condensed. Let's say your muscle get tense or ache. The energy got stuck there. Somebody massage the muscle. The energy can release, dispersed. Release, pleasure. If somebody doesn't know, I'll just use a very blunt example. If you need to pee and you hold it, the more it's, now that energy is trapped. Painful, it starts to be so painful. The moment you start to pee, the voices say, So actually pleasure is a released energy of trapped pain. That means the sages come and say, you're so ignorant that actually there's only pain and pleasure is the release of that pain. Yet you're so dumb, not sensitive anymore, that you can't even notice that. Because you're so habituated to chase the pleasure and avoid pain. So you're mostly in pain and have release of that pain with some pleasure. And you think this is bliss. You're so far and ignorant in the dark that the way you can come out of it is knowledge. So what is knowledge? Knowledge is the truth. Means, even when it's painful to hear the truth, still this is knowledge for Maya to come out of ignorance, because ignorance is always painful. Ignorance is pain, suffering, discontentment, desires which cause you pain. Actually, any desire, when I'm attached to it, causes me pain. Let's say I want to meet a woman. I want to meet the woman of my life. If that desire is strong, it ruins every aspect of my life. Because I'm not happy because I'm sitting to eat dinner alone, and then I have a thought, if I would be with her here, I'll be so happy. Then I'm going to work, and I'm thinking, it's so nice if I would come back home and she will be there, I would be so happy. And on and on and on like that. So actually, I'm being devastated just by that desire to have a companion with me. Yeah. So usually it's very fundamentals. It's like the ego is seeking security, comfort, and pleasure, which is Maya suddenly, because she's now moved into the ego. Yeah. So she's looking for security. So from the ego standpoint, in our world today, it would be three. I will tie them in a very basic things. It's like, if you have money, then Maya comes for a moment. Then it's not enough, because if your body is sick, you don't care about the money. Now, let's say you have money and your body is healthy. If you don't have a relationship, a love relationship, you're not happy. So let's say you have a loving relationship, you're totally healthy and you have no money, all your attention will go to money. Let's say you have money and you have a loving relationship and your body is not healthy, all your attention will go to the body. Let's say you're all three. Yeah. Now, once you have the whole three, you realize you're miserable because they don't give you what you really wanted, because Maya is such a way, she's attached to her desires. She doesn't really appreciate what she has.
And in constant fear to lose any of them.
Yeah, so once she has the three, she's afraid to lose the money, that's pain. She's afraid to lose her health, that's pain. She's afraid to lose her beloved ones. So she's afraid. So before she has it, she is afraid and cannot stop until she has it. Once she has it, she is afraid, so she tries, and she will lose it. And she will try to sustain and do everything not to lose it. So in both ways, she is trapped in fear. Misery. She has to come to realize that this is not the way out for her. No way. Yeah? Okay, so now, how does she come out of it? She's in ignorance. Yes? So what happens? Ignorance is dark. Now she has in that instrument buddhi also, which is intelligence. Yes? So when she veiled Brahman, which is the source, which is who you are, she reduced it to witness. Once she projects the buddhi, it's the buddhi and the ego together. Yet what happens with this buddhi? Buddhi gets the first reflection of the light on itself. That means, the analogy that Zevi used, which is perfect, is that the sun, the clouds on top gets full radiant of the sun. Yes? Yet as you go through the cloud, let's say it's thick cloud, at the end, already the light is reduced of the sun, right? In the plane, if we fly, we're above the clouds. Now as we go below into the clouds, suddenly it's not so much light, and then the vision is being obscured. And then as the plane goes underneath the cloud, if it's really dense cloud, dark, there's dark. Yeah? So there's like a shade. So what happens when she projects the buddhi, she moves into it. Now she projects the ego, she veils the buddhi, she moved into the ego, she's in total ignorance. The way she has to come back to the light, she has to use the buddhi. She now using the ego, isn't it, to go out through the senses to the external world? That's what she does. Now she has to use the buddhi, and once she uses the buddhi, she becomes knowledge. So actually people think that if they hear the knowledge, that's really the knowledge. No. When Maya hears the knowledge, it awakens for her to use the buddhi. When she uses the buddhi, she becomes knowledge. So let's say Maya hears the knowledge and doesn't use the buddhi, she doesn't become Maya knowledge. She cannot come out of ignorance.
Excuse me, what's the buddhi?
Buddhi is higher intelligence, knowledge. Like the words you hear now are knowledge. What does it mean? If you see it inside you, you realize, wow, that's the truth. You realize it? Some of the words are the truth, pointing to truth. You might. Some people hear it, they say, wow, this is total ignorance. Let me keep away from this and run away. Some say, this guy is totally crazy. Why am I sitting here? I am so embarrassed. I don't know how to get up and leave from here. These words are awful.
And some recognize it in between them, in themselves, and they say, oh, hey, I knew it, I recognize it. Hey, something is, oh.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate between your thoughts and the buddhi?
Okay. The buddhi, when it is used, it's a good question. It actually through thinking. So that's a great question, because I heard you say, how do you recognize your thoughts and the buddhi? Actually, the thoughts are not yours. They are Maya's. So what does it mean? Maya, we define her now, because that's what knowledge does. Maya is the thinker, and she is the sleeper. Okay? The thing is that you identify with Maya as yourself. So you fall asleep. You have this experience? So when you fall asleep and then you wake up, right? What are you thinking? I slept. I had a good night's sleep. I just fell asleep for a few moments. You had this kind of thoughts? Yes? Maya was sleeping. And then when she woke up, she was thinking that she was sleeping, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does she say? She thinks, she said, I fell asleep. It was so great, isn't it? Let's say you come from work or you come from an event, you're really tired, you sit on the couch and suddenly you fell asleep. Then whenever you wake up, Maya might think, wow, I fell asleep. So now she was thinking, right? She was thinking, I fell asleep. That's a proof that she is the sleeper and the thinker. So all the thoughts that are appearing inside you is Maya. Out of ignorance, we misidentify with Maya as ourselves.
No.
Okay? Is it clear? Do I have to clarify more?
Maya is our thoughts.
Maya is the thinker and the sleeper. Instead of my thoughts, Maya is the thinker and the sleeper. When she's ignorant, she claims the thoughts to be mine because she goes out to the external gross universe, and there's so many objects, so many diversification that it generates my in her. Yeah? When she's thinking, especially when she's thinking around the knowledge, the words of the sages, the mice fall away. She's just thinking. She doesn't think this is, she just thinking. If she really concentrate, if she stop and thinking that she is that the thinking is her, then she's not concentrated on the words of the sages. Okay, I didn't answer your question. So Maya is the thinker and the sleeper. So if you look inside you, you see that there is thoughts. You see that there are thoughts. You can recognize that there are thoughts. So this is Maya. thinking. Okay?
This is not me.
That's right. This is Maya thinking. The sages come and tell you the truth that you are consciousness. Basically, the first thing we said, and I directed you, was that you are consciousness, isn't it?
Yes.
I told you the truth straight away. Actually, if you listen with the ears without thought, you consciousness are hearing these words.
True.
True. So I am telling you the truth. So who is you that I'm telling the truth? I'm speaking to consciousness inside you. I'm not speaking to your individual story. I'm not interested in your story. The sages are interested only in the truth and nothing else, because the truth is knowledge for Maya. So as she starts to think about the words of the sages, so the sages always use scriptures to point to the seeker for the truth, that look, the truth was written for thousands of years, it's the same truth. Then they share the truth. If it is a living being who realize who they are, they share the truth verbally, and then the seeker experience it directly. So the sages said, and sages is just another word for the seers of truth. Now, the seer of truth is you. 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 Within everyone there is the seer of truth. It is the ultimate seer. It is the first one and the last one. Because from the seer, the thought appears. Maya came out, and she starts to think she manifests the whole universe, and then she thinks that she is a physical body. In the universe she manifested. So what happens? There is the source. I am the source. Maya comes out, and she says, she basically perceives the whole universe, and she says, I am a body in the universe. Everybody experiences it when they wake up in the waking state. Suddenly they wake up into a body inside the world, isn't it? So that's when Maya starts to think already. She is the thinker. Then Maya falls asleep. They lose the body and the world. Yet because every time she wakes up and she starts to think, she's in ignorance. So every time she comes into ignorance, slips from ignorance. Into ignorance, slips from ignorance. Into ignorance, slips from ignorance. How would she come out of it? She needs knowledge to hear the words so she can start to think about them, because she is the thinker. Like, if you start to realize something that is so basic, like Maya identify with her thinking, not with the experience. You were experiencing the water?
Yes.
What do you think about the water?
I didn't think about it.
So I ask you, what do you think about it?
Oh, it's cooling, refreshing.
Great water, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you think it's great water, how does it make you feel?
Good.
Good. Now let's say the water is really bad, and you think it's awful water. How does it make you feel?
Not like having any more.
Not good.
Put it down and I don't want it.
Yeah. So Maya identifies with the thinking, not the experience.
Not the experience.
What she does, she translates in her thoughts the experience by labeling it through the manas, good and bad.
Yeah, if there is no taste buds, I would drink them both, and both will be the same for me.
Yeah, she wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So basically, she translates the experience through the manas which we talked, and now she thinks it's good, she likes it. It's bad, she dislikes it. If it's good, that means pleasurable. She wants more. If it's bad, she don't like it. She wants to get rid of it. Now we experience it with food. Good food, we want more. We eat more. We eat more. We eat more, and then it's like, oh, how come I ate so much? Yeah. And let's say somebody is hosting me, and he puts on the plate horrible food. Now I'm polite. Would I ask for more? I would do everything I can. I would, if there is a dog, I will, when he doesn't say, give it to the dog. And put the plate, like everything. It's a polite, yeah, it's good and full. So what we can see is that basically Maya identifies with what she thinks, not with the experience. She translates the experience in her thinking, and because she is the thinker, she identifies with what she thinks to be true.
Same with the pain.
Same with the pain. Let's say, at times I had trainings, actually, that pain, in the school I've learned, they were instilling in the mind for Maya to think that pain is good. So every time the pain was appearing, Maya will start to think, this is good, makes me stronger, this is really good for me, makes me to handle more things. She just took it, the pain was there, she just spin it in her thought to change her perspective, which means her thoughts, around the experience.
Yeah.
The more she did it, the more she identified with it, the more she believed it to be true. And once she believed it to be true, then that was her world. Because whatever she thinks, that's her world.
Yeah.
So if she thinks good thoughts, she has good world. If she thinks bad thoughts, then she has bad world. Except she will move from good to bad, so there's no way out for her. Because I am not Maya. I am the Supreme Self. I am Supreme Consciousness. I am absolute happiness. I am absolute knowledge. That means I am before Maya, I am behind Maya, I am beyond Maya. That means Maya has to come out of ignorance. That means she needs knowledge, because knowledge is closer to the light. And in that way she liberates herself out of the darkness. Into the light she disappears. This is her way to go for liberation. Because, let's say, I tell you, okay, I'll teach you how to have no thoughts. You like that? Now I'll tell you, sit in meditation, close your eyes, and just sit. Now, you don't need to do that. Which thoughts will appear in your mind?
Who knows? Anything, many things.
What are most of the thoughts that you have during the day?
Usually rubbish or negative thoughts or not constructive thoughts.
Good. So if you stop physically, what is recycled mostly in your mind will pop up now when you sit in meditation. The same rubbish. Because why? That rubbish is already stored in the memory. So the prana pulls out all the rubbish. Whatever is there, that's what she pulls out. What would she pull? She has nothing else. That means Maya has to hear the knowledge and hear it over and over again, so the prana stores it, registered in the memory. So now this will be pulled out more. Now, when she starts to think about knowledge, she's using the buddhi. The buddhi is closer to the light, So she get more light, she start to be happy. This is why anyone who was ready, when Maya was ready to hear the knowledge, when she start hearing the knowledge, she start to be so happy. She realizes this is her way out.
Way out.
This is a way out from ignorance. This is a way out from darkness. This is a way out for suffering. This is her way to merge into eternity. Eternal being. Timeless being. This is not a joke. This is a serious matter for her. She is looking for this. We don't even know. The sages say for millions and millions of years. It's like you lost your house and you're wandering for millions of years. And now I tell you, can you come back to your house? You don't even remember what was the house, where was it, and how to return to it. Suddenly, somebody says, I can show you the way because I am in the house that you are looking for. I went back and I'm going to show you the way. I cannot take you. You follow the words and you go inside, and the way will start to reveal to you exactly the way to return back to the house. That house for Maya is absolute happiness, supreme bliss, supreme happiness, eternity. Yeah? So once she's ready, if she's ready, and that's her interest, because if she's trapped in the ego, ignorance, and her interest is still in the desires of the objects of the world, even if she used the knowledge, the buddhi would not start to be activated because, let's say, I desire something, and now the buddhi is active and I have to discriminate it. If I discriminate it, I won't take the action. Yet I still want it. So of course I won't discriminate it because I want to take the action because I want to gain what I want. So the knowledge in that way would not work. That's why hearing the knowledge is not really when the knowledge awakens inside you. People mistake, they think, oh, if I hear the knowledge, I'll memorize it, I'll speak it by heart, I'll talk with everybody about it, and now I know the knowledge. No, if the Buddha is not awake, Maya does not become knowledge. Means the Buddhi has to be super active. Means Maya has to concentrate. And who she has to concentrate? She has to concentrate on who I am. I am the Supreme Self. I am eternal. I am formless. I am nameless. Now if she starts to think about it, she's at least when she thinks about it, she doesn't suffer. Tell me, anytime you suffer, anyone, is only when she thinks about the body, which is the world.
Or related to the body. Yes.
Yeah, it's the body and the world. Means, isn't it? Anytime you suffer, or I'll say it differently, all your problems is around the world. All your problems is around the body. Tell me if you have any other problems. And I don't ask anybody to believe anything they hear. They have to deeply analyze what they hear. Because then the Buddhi inside awakens. As it is awakening, the knowledge, Maya knowledge is awakening, or Maya become knowledge. So, all the problems, anyone's problems is always around the world or the body. That's why when they fall asleep and they don't have thoughts, they never have problems.
But it doesn't help them.
Except even that doesn't help them. That's why people that are depressed, they sleep a lot. They try to escape from the world. It doesn't help them. They can never be liberated like that. What is required is knowledge. Maya has to awaken to the knowledge. Okay? So the sages say the way to awaken to the knowledge is hear the knowledge over and over and over and over again. What to do? That's how it is. As she hears the knowledge, something start to awaken, the Buddhists start to function, because it is actually an instrument. So it's like, let's say,
A drill.
yeah. So now it's stuck. And as you put oil, you open it, fix it, and zzz, 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 the more you use it, the more it starts to work. Usually tools, when they are not used, cars, if you don't use them, they go bad, isn't it? What happens for majorities, because Maya, out of ignorance, forgot who I am, she reduced herself to a physical body. Almost everyone is locked in the ignorance. Actually, everybody is born into ignorance. So everybody, the moment they are born into ignorance, because they are already misidentified with the body. And for the baby, look, what did they start? The five senses now open. In the womb, there were only two senses functioning. Sense of hearing and sense of touch. They didn't see, they didn't taste, and they didn't smell. Yet the two senses that were functioning were two, where they could hear and they could feel. If there was a pressure, pain, yes, pleasure, pain already there. Now they go out, they are born, five senses open, and slowly the baby goes out through the senses to the magnificent external gross universe. Now these babies start to generate my's, my body. Slowly, my body, my parent, whatever it is, even if it will be a monkey and the baby will be put in the monkey, that will be my parent. The baby will hold on to the monkey, because without the warmth, the baby will die. So now the babies start to generate lots of my's. That gets Maya totally immersed into ignorance. My, she goes out, my. Now she generates it inside her by going out through the senses to the external universe. So now maybe anybody who realize that there is no way out for Maya to be liberated by generating more my's, which means more thoughts, more beliefs, more ideas, because one wants to be in their original state of being, which is thought free. Yeah? So what happens? Without knowledge, if we stop and start to be in meditation, it's okay. Yet we're going to be really tortured. This is why people hate meditation. If I tell you, okay, let's sit for the next 10 hours here. Go. You'll see you go crazy. Why? Because what will come into the surface is only ignorance. Maya ignorance. All the residual impressions. Thoughts about the world, thoughts about the body, different discomfort. I like it, I don't like these thoughts. War.
Lots of rubbish.
Yeah, war. So now the sages say, stop. Don't meditate without knowledge. Don't meditate without knowledge. Get Maya to awaken to the knowledge. Get her to learn really and understand what's going on in her. Once she understands, she happily goes back to you. All she got confused. Like if I tell a child, lost his mother. Now I tell the child, it's going to take a lot of time until we find your mother, and meanwhile sit here. Now he'll be in grief and suffering, all what his longing is there. Instead I'll tell the child, give him a hand. I said, let's walk, we are heading towards your mother. Every step we make, he is excited to get to his mother. The knowledge is like that. It gets Maya every step along the way. Look, She's getting closer. She's realizing, wow, I am on the way. What happens to the child when he's on the way? He's happy, kicking the stones, picking stuff. He's so happy that he's soon going to see his mother that he doesn't care, he can enjoy. So the process of liberation, the sages said, if it's with true knowledge, it makes Maya really happy to return back to the source. If it is without knowledge, you're going to suffer a lot on the journey back because you're going to be more trapped in ignorance than Maya knowledge. So the sages said, use the knowledge first in order for her to wake up. She realizes the way. Every time she's in the knowledge, she's so happy. It's today I saw you and I recognize it within again and again. Every time Maya recognizes knowledge and she can reflect upon and contemplate, instantaneously it's happy. It's like food for her. Give me. Yes, this is, oh yeah, I'm so happy. She starts to be closer to me. I am supreme bliss. Closer she is to me, she is happy. Why? Because she gets the first reflection from me. What happens to the tree?
Yes, she rubbed me and she got happy.
Yes. What happens to the tree?
I rub you and I get happy.
Let's say a plant.
I'm gonna get the gun.
Let's say a plant that really likes the sunlight. When is it really happy?
When the sun's out.
And falls on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
When it gets the sunlight, falls on it. When Maya hears the knowledge, the light starts to fall on her. When she starts to use the knowledge, she becomes knowledge. So, because the Buddha gets the first light on it. So she starts to be illuminated. Illuminated. Maya get enlightened. This is illumination. Means enlightened, that's more light. I am the source of light illuminating her. She gets more and more light. More and more light. She's happier. Now, all of us agree that everybody here is attracted to light. I close you in a dark room for long enough. Your longing would be the most is to be a little bit in the light. That means metaphorically we understand that in the external,
We can see every creature.
looking for the light. Looking for the light. The light is knowledge, you guys. Ignorance is darkness. So the more she is in the light, the happier she is. This is her way for liberation. All the rest is just for her to get a relief from the so much pain that she has. So, as a human being, having a human birth, one would come to the realization, if the Buddha will be awakened at least for some time, which is Maya knowledge uses it, she will determine either she continue ignorance and she will be consumed by desire and fear endlessly, or she will go with the knowledge using the Buddha.
The Buddha will determine for her.
Yes.
The Buddha is...
She's using the Buddha, and it is the determinating faculty. That means if she hears the knowledge and the Buddha awoken, she will determine which direction, which path will she choose in this life. Perpetuate ignorance, eternity, timeless being, eternal being.
And the sages say that it's suicide to perpetuate ignorance.
Yeah, because
That's what you did. Didn't you say that?
He said
yeah,
it
yeah.
yesterday.
No, there is nothing that for me.
Because that's the sages. These are the words of the sages. I am just a messenger. You heard about messenger?
Yeah, kill the messenger.
It delivers the knowledge. Because the knowledge is within everyone, Maya has to use the buddhi to become Maya knowledge. And as she becomes Maya knowledge, she is happier and happier. She merges into the absolute knowledge, which is absolute happiness, supreme peace, indescribable, because it is prior to any thought. Maya is the thinker. And we talked before, and I shifted, and I'd like just to go back to reiterate. Reiterate is the word?
Reiterate.
Eh?
Reiterate.
Reiterate.
Iterate.
Reiterate.
Yes, got it.
מה זה?
Reiterate.
First time I
Reinforce and say
heard.
again.
The return.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
להזכיר.
Okay, to
Like
return.
repeating again and
Repeat,
again.
repeat.
Make
To
stronger,
repeat.
repeat to make stronger.
Yeah.
Repeat.
Is when Maya, using the ego, she becomes Maya ignorance. What happens? She's thinking about the world. So we already heard, at least I said, whether you realized it or not, that all your problems and everyone's problems and all my problems is only around the body and the world. Isn't it?
Yes.
Definitely.
Now,
You agree?
Yep.
Okay.
when
All agree.
Maya is thinking about thoughts about the world, she has problems. And it's not going to change. Because this is how it is. You explore it for some time when you realize it. You go to the memory, you will see it. You'll come to the conclusion. Now, when she is thinking, so when she is thinking about the world, she always has problems. So, whatever she's thinking, that's her world. Because she has only one thought at any given time, whatever thought and afterthought and the next thought and the next thought, that's her world. Because she identifies with the thinking, not the experience of the world. So now, if she hears the knowledge, which is very simple, you want to hear the knowledge, the secret? Yes?
Yeah, of course.
Is the truth is, you are the supreme knowledge. You are the supreme self. You like that?
I understand that.
No. Do you like this idea?
I do like it.
Okay. Do you have any idea that you can think of that you even like it more? Like you are pure consciousness, unaffected, ever free?
I like that idea.
You like that?
That's
Or-
my goal. That's what I
Okay.
want to achieve.
Or like you are absolutely free. You like that? Maybe you believe that you're not. Let's say the truth is that you absolutely free. That means it is so absolute. That means it's nothing affects it, nothing touches it. You are immutable.
Immutable.
You like that idea? So I come and tell you, you are the supreme. Yes? You like that?
Yep.
So all Maya has to think is this. So if Maya would think, I am the supreme self, tell me how she can suffer. That becomes her world.
You can't suffer.
So
In that specific
You
moment,
can't
while,
suffer.
while she's saying it,
why is she thinking
she
it?
believes in it.
In
So
the
she just
in the
is-
beginning, she won't be able to believe it. You know why?
It's
Because
not
she's
even-
so much in ignorance.
Yeah.
But while she's saying it, she's it. She
Yes.
There is no even belief or not.
Except many things come into the surface that are ignorance, and they appear to be more real because of habit. Identify with that. So she identifies with what she thinks. How long she's thinking that she is a physical body and the world is real. For so long. How much she's thinking I am the Supreme Self. Even if she tried to think it very quickly, she is so weak the buddhi is so dormant that she goes thinking about the external world,
She
the
goes back
material
again.
world. She goes back out of habit. So if she thinks I am the Supreme Self, and let's say it's a computer program, I delete everything from the computer, and the computer only have a thought, I am the Supreme Self. Now we install it in Maya, and that's all she can think. How are you? I am the Supreme Self. What is happening in your life? I am the Supreme Self.
I am the Supreme Self.
How, it's like anything happening, I am the Supreme Self. So they ask me, what is the Supreme Self? It is changeless. I am changeless. I am absolutely aware. I am consciousless. And what happened with your body? I don't have any physical body. I'm ever free from a body. And what about the thoughts? I am thoughtless. I don't ever had a thought. What are you talking about it? I've never heard about thoughts. Where are thoughts? And they say, so who are you? I told you, I am the Supreme Self. And not only that, it alone exists. So I am consciousness, and consciousness alone exists, and I am that. And by the way, you are consciousness, because that's all she can think of. And you are consciousness, and you are consciousness. And then they will say, no, I'm not. And she will say, that which thinks is the Supreme Consciousness. You are consciousness. Install it in your program now. Get Maya to think, I am the Supreme Self. Now, unless she would start to be thinking it, using the buddhi, that she is the Supreme Self, she would not know what is it to come out of ignorance. Because otherwise, instantaneously she will think, I am a body inside the world. Now, everybody have this experience. You watch. You walk out of here, and suddenly Maya start to talk to you. And she's talking all around the body. Oh, what I think about me, what, or she goes future. Future is always body. Body, body, body. Future goes body. Now, if she wants to feel guilty, she goes to the past. Ooh, why I didn't do it? I should have done it. So she goes, she feels guilty. Then she goes to the past, she gets scared. Now she says, ooh, I don't know what to do. I'm so bad. I go insane. So now she feels bad. So any direction she's thinking, she's trapped. How does she come out of it? So she's looking for momentary relief. Okay, let me smoke a cigarette.
Joint.
It doesn't matter. Cigarette. So her attention moves a little bit. For just a split of a second, her attention moved to the motion. Now the body starts to smoke. She's dreaming again. Okay, and that doesn't work. Now it forms a habit. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, so chocolate,
I have a coffee.
coffee, food. She goes anywhere because all she wants to do is quiet the insanity that she's trapped in.
The cravings.
So what is she looking? Pleasure. What is pleasure? We determined already that is absence of pain. Absence of pain is pleasure. So she's looking for momentary pleasures. Yeah, she can have momentary pleasures in the external gross universe. This is why it is so appealing for Maya ignorance. She says, okay, this is a relief. Oh, this is a relief. Oh, no, this is a relief. She's jumping like a monkey because it's all temporarily. Because she has no way to go out of insanity. How she comes out? Sages said very clear, the path of knowledge. You want to come out of ignorance? Knowledge get you out. Why? It's closer to the light. Because any time she's seeking something from the external to relieve the pain, the moment she gets what she wants, instantaneously, for a moment, she quiets. She gets the reflection of the light. So she gets relieved. Actually, I illuminate her for a moment. Yet, very quickly she reacts to the next thing. So sometimes she doesn't even recognize the gap. Like classic is with you hungry, you sitting in a restaurant. It's like, when am I gonna serve the food? When am I gonna serve? It's like, bastards. What kind of restaurant? 5-star restaurant. I have to wait. They ignore me. I get up. I'm pissed. Eh? Now I get the food. I eat the food. She quiets down. Just I finish the food. When am I gonna get the bill? Let me get out of here. What am I doing here? I don't want to be here. Before, all I want is just to get there. Then I sat there. All I want is just to have the food. Once I get the food, all I want to get out of there. Like this, Maya moves all around her place. This is symbolic. If one starts to look at Maya ignorance, she operates like that constantly when she's in ignorance. This is why the beauty is that Maya knowledge realized within that Maya ignorance is never satisfied. So people tell me, are you ever satisfied? I tell them, in ignorance, I'm never satisfied and I will never be satisfied, so don't try to satisfy me even. Don't try, don't bother, because I don't look for the satisfaction from there. There is none. Zero. So Maya knows now, how would she be satisfied? Knowledge. Because when she goes and she uses the knowledge and she contemplates, she quiets down. She hears the knowledge, she quiets down. She contemplates, she concentrates. Now she don't have so many desires. She's just thinking. And as she's thinking, she gets the illumination. I'm illuminating her. She gets the first reflection. The light, I am illuminating her. And as she's thinking, I start to witness her. Suddenly, it dawns on who I am, that I am the witness, not her. So I less and less identify with her. Less and less I identify, that means I'm unaffected by her. That means I am freed from the identification with her, because I'm the witness, not her. In ignorance, she identified with the witness. So the witness suddenly was the ego. When she is in the knowledge, she is actually, I'm hearing her. I'm seeing how she is using the buddhi to discriminate the thoughts about the objects that cause the ignorance Maya to be restless. So suddenly she is happy. She is not looking for anything anymore from the external universe, because she realized it delivers only pain, misery. Because she goes out, she generates lots of minds, many thoughts, insanity. Not because she tries to avoid it, because she realized there is nothing there. Yeah? So there's a difference. Some sages, masters, they force the disciples, give up the world. Give up. Yet I am mesmerized. I haven't realized what I share with you yet. Yeah? When I share this, it's because I realized it. So to give up the world is easy. Right? Because I'm not giving up on anything.
No,
Anything.
nothing.
All I'm giving up was ignorance that caused me identifying with that so much pain. So when Maya knowledge start to realize it, she's
Give up
so
pain.
yeah, she's what?
She gave up the pain.
Yeah.
I believe you. Everyone will give up the
That
pain.
means she start to desire to give up. She gives up, giving attention to the external gross universe. She gives up to give attention to the thoughts about the world, which is the material world inside. She is more and more thinking, contemplating about who I am. When she thinks about who I am, that's her doorway to merge into me. That's how she merges and I remain thoughtless. So Maya doesn't try to quiet her mind, because when Maya tries to quiet her mind, she thinks more. To repeat it, when Maya tries to quiet her mind, she thinks more. Now war begins. War begins because she doesn't want what is happening. She wants to be thought-free, and she's having more thoughts. So now she starts to be war with herself internally. Okay? So there's no way out. Now I've seen it internally, and I've seen it with thousands of people already. It's the same cycle. So without knowledge, I came to realize exactly what the sages say. Maya cannot be liberated. She just cannot, because she stays down in the dark. How would she step up? Because it's subtle, it's only thoughts. She has no rope, right? If I'm in a hole, and I'm a body, that means I need another physical object to pull me out, right? Rope, ladder, whatever it is. Yet Maya is thoughts. She is the thinker. When she's ignorant, she is the thinker. When she's knowledge, she is the thinker. That means her rope from coming down from ignorance to knowledge is only through thinking. So when Maya hears the knowledge, and the sages say Maya has to move to think out of ignorance, she says, no, please don't do this to me. Because all she's conditioned to is thinking about the external world, which is a nightmare. So when she hears it, she has no reference point. In ignorance, it's only problems. Thinking about the body and the material world is only problems. Is worries, which is fear. It's desires, which is fear inside. Because if I desire something and it's really important for me, I'm afraid that I'm not going to get it. And when something is really important for me that I have, I'm really afraid to lose it. So when I am if the sage tell me think, and I close my eyes without knowledge, I don't want this. Because in ignorance, all my life, I was going out to try to get her to be quiet. If I eat something good, she quiets for a moment. If I meet a woman, the moment I meet her, I am quiet. Yeah. Always when I get what I want, the desire is gone. Because it's temporary, then I meet the woman, then I want her to change. No, it's the woman wants the man to change. When I meet the woman, I want her to be different. And when she meets me, she wants to change me. Means she wants me to be different. It's like this with everything. I'm just using this. So basically, if the sage, which is the seer, he's the knower, he knows everything. Because he's the embodiment of absolute knowledge. Yes? If the sage tell the seeker, the disciple, the student, doesn't matter, just think. Without knowledge, Maya have no clue what is knowledge to think about. Because all she's conditioned out of habit to think about is the thoughts about the world that cause her so much suffering. So of course she doesn't want to think. So Maya is so clever, which is ignorance, and she hears the knowledge, and what she says, this is really nice, except I want to be thought-free. It's Maya says it.
Okay.
Now,
She's told.
she's the thinker, and she's made out of thought, and she wants to be thought-free. Tell me if this is not confusion. Tell me if this is not confusion. Now, she needs a rope to pull out of the darkness. Only the thinking will pull her up. That means some thoughts are ignorance, some thoughts are knowledge. Some thoughts are dark, some thoughts are light. Some thoughts are objective thoughts, some thoughts are subjective thoughts. Some thoughts are gross, some thoughts are subtle. Knowledge is subtle thoughts. Knowledge is subjective thoughts. Knowledge is thoughts that are filled with light, because the light goes through them. I am the light who illuminates the thoughts. This is why it's so important, knowledge. Yet Maya, which is the thinker, she out of ignorance wants to be thought-free. Because she identifies herself with who I am, which is thought-free. I never had a thought. I am thoughtless. So in order for her to merge into me, which is thoughtless, she has to think and inquire, who am I? Because I am the Absolute. I am thoughtless. I am ever free. I am the Supreme Self. I am the witnessing consciousness. I am the changeless awareness. I am that. That means she has to think in order to dissolve into that which is thought free, which is not her.
It's the same wind that brought the clouds. It's the same wind that will remove the clouds and the sun shines again.
Yes.
That's what they say.
Well, I find this really fascinating, and it's very timely for me to be sitting here listening to this at this moment in my life of the things I'm inquiring to within myself. And I'd love to stay more, but unfortunately I have other place I need to go, which is unfortunate. But the knowledge, to be more aware of the knowledge, what can one do in simplistic form to
Hear the knowledge.
hear the knowledge?
Yeah.
Where does one hear the knowledge from?
So usually, so it depends. One can open YouTube, and many people share the truth, and that's knowledge.
He's got a lot of stuff on YouTube.
If you like what you hear, then you hear this. One has to find what they really want. Usually, the knowledge was passed traditionally from one living being to another. Some rare beings were awakened, and then the Buddhi awakened within them because they realized who they are. And the Maya started to use the Buddhi, and she became Maya knowledge and disappeared fully into the source. So where do you hear the knowledge? You open a book, there is many words that is knowledge, that is truth. So you want to seek a clear mind and knowledge that enables Maya within you to start to contemplate, go within, and concentrate, discriminate, and inquire into your true nature. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.